Hello, everybody. So, this is gonna be funny. I recorded a piano. I did a piano recital recording at the church. Now, as you know, a little bit of backstory. I was the one who pushed to. We were given a big donation towards upgrading all our technology, and I was given a big push to, or I pushed to get a Model 16. We had an old EV 12 channel, which was massive. It was huge. And I said, we should get a Model 16. We'll put it right beside the computer. As if you saw the intro, that's the way it is. You have the Model 16. You have the keyboard there. That way you can do the overheads. You can do the PowerPoint presentation, and you can also work the board at the same time if you have to turn somebody's mic up or down. So I pushed for that, and there's two reasons I pushed for that. It's a nice little mixer. It's smaller than what we had. Well, three, smaller than what we had, and it had the ability to record. And our church does a lot of concerts, and this was one of the concerts we were doing, was to do with our pianist Luis, I think he's got his master's, and he's an amazing pianist, and he was doing some classical piano pieces for everyone. And so I was like, so I said, okay, well, I will record it for you because I wanted to do this. Now, what happened is I recorded two videos. The first video was up in the loft where the system is, and I was talking about how I had it set up. And then the second part, which I still have, which I'm glad about, was me showing how I set up the mics for the piano and to get some crowd, like to get some ambiance from the church. And so what happened is the first one, as I just said, it didn't work. It didn't pan out. It looks like I started the recording after I'd finished the recording and then stopped it. So I don't know what happened there. I thought I had started it and recorded it all. So what I've done is I have done the best I can to recreate it in my office here. So in my studio here, I put the Model 24 down. I don't have a Model 16. I have a Model 24. And I always think it's ironic that I bought this, because when I was playing with the Model 16, I'm like, yeah, I like it, but it's not really what I need. And now I have this thing. So it's kind of funny. All right, so I've set it up pretty much the way it was set up at the church. And what I did was ignore everything past 12 here. Just ignore that. We do have stereo in the church, like these ones are all stereo, but ignore them. So the first thing I did was our church is set up so that we have on the floor and this around the box, there's a total of 6 XLR inputs, and there's one on either side of the box. So the other part is the choir loft. So there's nothing there. So you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have those to plug in your microphones that you want. Now we also have the one on our church one is a wireless headset. 2 I think I have for wireless microphones. Yeah, it's I have to clean it all up still, but it is set up that way. So what we have is, so this is what I did. Now 3 is up all the way, as you can see here. The reason that is that was the microphone that anybody who's doing announcements or anything during the piano recital could talk through, and it was there, and it was just, you could do that, you could use it. And then what I did was, if this doesn't break, oh good, didn't break. So I had 4 as would be my left overhead, or not left crowd. 5 and 6 were on the piano. 7 I didn't use, and 8 was my right overhead. So the other side of the choir loft, I had 2 microphones sitting there. You'll see that in the next half of this video. Now, as you notice, and this is how they were set up. They're set very low. The reason they're set very low is because I didn't really want them to come through the speakers. I wanted them to come through. I wanted to be able to hear on the headphones, to hear how it sounded, make sure it sounded good, but I did not want it to I didn't want it to come through the speakers because it might have fed back and caused problems. It was just easier not to have it do that. So it did come through a little bit, but it wasn't like oh loud. It wasn't amazingly loud. I think it more or less enhanced his piano playing, and that just made it sound a little more interesting. So that's how I had the microphone set up. The records were all down, yes, of course. Everything is set to live, as you can see here. Let me see if I can pull up a bit. All right, we can pull up a bit. I don't want to pull up too much. These I had pretty high, because I was trying to max them out on the display. So I wanted them to be as high as they could because the faders had nothing to do with it. It was just what it was recording. I didn't use line cuts at all. I did use the compressors. I will say this about the Model 16 and the Model 24. The compressor on this is beautiful for such things as vocals and that. It's not as fancy as, you don't really have any choice. It's more or less on or off. You can set how high you want it to compress. And yeah, that's pretty much how I had it set up. So I was using 4 mics, 2 to get the crowds, or get the room mics, and then 2 right on the piano. And so now I will show you that. So now I'm going to be in the church showing you that. So here we go. So yeah, this is just a shot. You can see the 2 microphones. I have them at the pews. The reason I have them here is because the plug is nice and close, and I don't have anything trailing over the floor, which is always a bad idea. So let's go over to the piano. So I have these 2 AKG C43 430s plugged in, and they are set up on the piano, as you can see. Very nice. And there's the other overhead. And once again, trying to keep the cabling down to a minimum so that there's no cabling in the way. So there we are. So that is my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you if I have time. I'll throw some samples on, because I'm going to take these and export them onto my Model 24, my DP32. Haven't decided yet, so I will do that later. Once again, have a great day.
Black and fluffy, black and fluffy. Black and fluffy, black and fluffy.